The weather certainly had its say this weekend in Scottish football. The wind and the rain put together just simply isn't satisfying. Like the video, comment down below the last word for the game you were at this weekend. And speaking of satisfying, the last word. This game may have had 4 goals on show at Forth Bank Stadium, but the main thing that I'll remember from this game is indeed the Scottish weather. You don't realise it as much when you're sitting in the stand and no feeling the sheer force of it, but by crikey, when I got out to walk back to the car after the game, every fibre of my body was covered in exhilarating Scottish raindrops. I swear to God, lads, this is not fun. Oh my God. In fact, let me just check. Aye, my feet are still freezing right now. Last word, unbearable. Ray won the game though, so Fraud FC have had a fantastic day at the office. The biggest game in BSC Glasgow's very short history as a football club, and possibly their entire existence as a football club. They did themselves absolutely no harm whatsoever when they came up against Hibs. Hibs just simply didn't turn up on the day, in my opinion. They looked like a team that just wanted to turn up and coast through the game. The 4-1 scoreline might make it look that way in the end, but BSC Glasgow will certainly be looking back fondly at this game, of course, but also saying, what if? Last word, what could have been? The flag they gave out to the fans in the stands was quite a nice touch as well. I've got myself one, brought it home with me, so that can sit pride in place in the setup, just back there. Beautiful, innit? "444 minutes without a goal for the Dons. That's now Rangers, Kilmarnock, St Mirren, St Johnstone and Motherwell that they've failed to score against. They're still in the hat for the next round of the Scottish Cup, and that's all that really matters at this stage. But they're failing to put the ball in the back of the net, they're failing to put good performances together, and Derek McInnes simply has to find the solution for that. Last word, stuck in a rut. A 1-0 loss was the final scoreline at the Falkirk Stadium as Falkirk were knocked out of the Scottish Cup by Hearts. However, Falkirk will count themselves very unlucky to have not scored a goal at the very least. Hearts went 1-0 up through a penalty kick, but then Falkirk hit the post not once but twice and then hit the bar. It just wasn't their day. I can't sit here and say that I'm not glad that they're not going through, because I am glad they didn't go through. We're rivals at the end of the day. However, as I said, I do believe that they deserved a goal over the whole piece of the game. Last word, unfortunate. Is this result a shock? I can't really say that it is. Inverness have always been a pretty decent side, and Livingston really poor away form over the whole kind of last couple of seasons really. So I can't exactly say that I'm shocked by this result. And you bet that this weekend specifically, the weather was absolutely atrocious up in Sneckyland. I don't know. Yeah, it's a win for the Championship side over the Premiership side, but I think Inverness were always capable of grabbing a win here. Last word, no surprise. Now folks, we go all the way down into the depths of Scottish football, the juniors. The West Region Championship to be exact, as Darren Miller scores possibly the best goal of non-league football in 2019-20. Roll the clip. Yes! The cheek of the boy, by the way. David Beckham, Paul Robinson, Tim Howard, Charlie Adam, Minor Figueroa, Wayne Rooney, and now, dazzling Darren Miller. Last word, the man himself said it best. Bullseye. After Dundee's pretty much lacklustre form throughout the full season so far, they simply had to win at home to bottom of the league Partick Thistle, especially with it being their game in hand on other teams around them, including Dunfermline. Me personally, I thought it was going to be a draw. I probably wanted a draw, if not a Partick Thistle win, but most likely a draw. But I was wrong. Dundee got the win, and most importantly for them perhaps, Kane Hemmings got 2 goals and got himself on the score sheet, of course. This was a game where Dundee simply had to win, get themselves back into the promotion playoffs, and they did. So, last word, job done. Stranraer are currently 7 points adrift at the bottom of League 1 and have only 15 points to their name all season. But they've picked up draws against Falkirk, Raith Rovers, and of course knocked Dunfermline out of the Scottish Cup. Every single mention of Stranraer now is just a painful reminder. Raith have fallen foul of the same thing that we did when travelling to Stair Park, and it now gives Falkirk that wee glimmer of hope that there's still chance of them lifting the league title come the end of the season. Last word, banana skin. No wins in the Championship, and then relegated. Relegated from League 1, bottom of League 2, and 9 points adrift. It's over for Brechin. They're destined for that playoff game against a Lowland or Highland League side at the end of the season, and the sad thing is for them, there's basically nothing they can do about it now. The gap is simply too big. The plight of a wee club like Brechin is a sad one, and unfortunately, in my opinion, I think there's only one way that they're going to go, and that's down. Last word, doomed. Elgin really have put the cat amongst the pigeons with a result like this. A 3-0 win at home to Cove Rangers once again shows that Cove Rangers' only fault this season really has been their away form. Just look at these stats for example. League 2 home table, 33 points and top of the league. League 2 away table, 20 points and second. It's obviously not horrendous away form, but it is the one thing that's perhaps costing them that chance to go and coast League 2 and get up into League 1. However, it's a good result for Elgin, and in reply to the Twitter reaction to this result itself, last word, best team won. Edinburgh City will be laughing at the poor away form of Cove Rangers in League 2, because it's given them a chance of promotion, just a bit like the Falkirk and Raith Rovers situation. But another thing that Edinburgh City will be laughing about is the form of a certain Liam Henderson. The big centre-back is making up for his namesake Blair not scoring the goals this season. This season, Liam Henderson has 6 goals to his name, and he grabbed another one in this 3-0 win over Annan Athletic this past weekend. Edinburgh City are keeping the pressure up, there's absolutely no question about that. Last word, creeping up behind. That's it for this video guys, cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, comment down below the last word for the game you were at this weekend, and rate the weather out of 10. Let's see what you think this weather was like this past weekend, because it was utterly horrendous in my opinion. 1 out of 10, if that. Subscribe for more of this type of content, and until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers guys.